Hello everyone, welcome back to another Unmuted podcast episode. Yay!
Who needs background effect when we have background people?
Yes, we have background people here with us today. So before that, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Luna. I'm one of the hosts here in Unmuted. You may have heard me in a couple of episodes, but now you can see me since we're starting to record video episodes now, right? And I have my other host with me.
Hello, my name is Chloe. You may have not heard me in any other podcast episodes because this is my first time hosting.
Yay!
Woo!
How do you feel?
I feel
Considering this is your first time.
kind of nervous,
Nervous?
considering I've never hosted before.
Me too. Considering like this
Yeah.
first episode.
Like this.
But yeah, you
Okay.
may see special guests here with us, some familiar faces if you've been going to TC for a while. But this episode is a ministry talk episode, so we're going to get to know some representatives from the TC ministry. And let's start with my left. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I would love to introduce myself. Hello, my name is
Hi.
Josh, and I'm so happy to be here. This is also my first time on the podcast, if we're telling about how long we've been here. So yeah, my name is Josh. I am over the Collective Institute Ministry here at the Collective. We are all about education and personal development.
Really?
Yes, really.
How long has this ministry have been going?
This ministry's been going for about 4 years now, almost 4 years since 2019 is when it started. Yeah, so it's been a while actually. But
been a
I've
while.
been only a part of it for the past year and a half.
I see. What about you?
Me.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, guys. My name is Ruach. I'm the pastor here at Ponderkinder over Young. And yeah, that's what I do. Do you have
So
any?
you're in Young.
Yeah.
Tell us
I'm
about
in
it.
Young. Yeah, we have lots of fun. That's 0 to 12. And so yeah, lots of fun. It's great.
Okay, so let's like dig deeper into each ministry. So, can I know like what's the purpose or like I'd say the goal of your ministry, starting from Josh?
So the goal of the Collective Institute is to be the place for education and personal development. So again, in church, like we get to come on Sundays and worship, and we hear a great word from the sermon. And sometimes, people just want to dive deeper into various topics, maybe learn about a certain book of the Bible. So we have courses and classes for that. But also, people just, it says in the Bible that, God continues to work in our lives, and he wants to transform us, renew our minds. And so one way we get to do that is to learn not more theories about the world, but just about ourselves, right? I think God created us uniquely and beautifully, and the more we get to know about ourselves, the more we know about our strengths and how we can be a part of that bigger body of Christ and be an influence and impact.
I love it. I love to hear it.
Very inspirational.
Thank you.
Very inspirational.
Hope you're all inspired now.
We're all inspired for the rest
Very
of it.
inspirational. Thank you for that, Josh.
Hey, good on you.
Oh yeah. So, wait. So for you,
Yeah.
what's the main purpose or like the goal of your ministry?
It's a good question. Thank you so much for asking it, both of you. For us, I think in Young, honestly, God, I became a Christian when I was 7, and I really, really believe that I've kind of grown up understanding that God, Jesus says, "Blessed are the young, for the kingdom of God is theirs." And actually, I think that sometimes in church, particularly kids ministry, because often the fruit that kind of is born from it is a little bit longer term. I think sometimes it can be overlooked, but actually at Young, we're not about that. We really are passionate about taking Jesus seriously, but not ourselves. And so we have a huge amount of fun. I really believe that, it's not it's not we have a fun time and then we have like a faith time, but everything that we do in Young is all about Jesus. And so we're constantly, whether it's through even through like the discipline, like, you know, particularly after the pandemic, like we have some kids that we have to discipline, but just throughout, like the purpose of it is to show Jesus to these kids, and loving them outrageously.
That is really awesome.
I love to hear it. Yeah. So what would you say is like the best part of being in this ministry? Like, if you could name one thing that is like the best part, like from TCI and from Young, what part would that be?
Do you know what? Up there is I get to pie volunteers, and that's really fun.
How often do you do that?
Do you know what? Every Sunday. For those of you that know Jason, we in Young we've actually renamed Sundays as Pie Jason Day. And it literally
Pie J
the thing
Sunday.
about being pied in Young is that you lose games, and so Pie Jason Day is like Jason's lost another game day. That's basically what it is.
Sunday, Pie J Sunday.
Yeah.
Pie J Sunday.
You're just adding a J there.
Exactly. So that's up there. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you do anything like that, Josh? Like
Absolutely not. We don't have fun. We're all about serious, and
Yeah,
see, I don't understand this
Do you know what? I
concept
believe
of
that.
fun. Yeah.
Huge contrast
Wow.
there.
Very big difference.
No, wait, hold on. That's not fair. Let me. So everybody in this room has been a part of a TCI program. So one way we've incorporated fun into learning, because learning is fun, right, Ruik? Yes.
Yeah.
And one way we do that is
Amen.
through something called weekly challenges. So what I've learned about the people here is we all have this competitive spirit. Everybody here is just really competitive. You guys like to play games, and you like to win. Hence the pieing in the face, right? So at TCI, we also want to tap into the competitiveness of individuals that participate in our program. So aside from the assignments and the learning, we have something called weekly challenges, which are fun weekly challenges, things that are random, like go take a photo with a staff member, or go, I don't know, take a photo with some food. I don't know, just random fun things. We accumulate all the points, and by the end, we see who wins, and it's fun. But what's cool about that fun aspect is what I've seen is that when people are like competing against each other, the true version of them comes out. But somehow it like kind of bonds people together, right? Because you kind of fight and struggle together, and so there you go. I'll throw the fun part in there.
In Young, we now have teams. So we have a red team and a blue team.
Oh wow.
And actually, like, one of the awesome things through that is that sense of unity. That in competition, that when it's not every man for himself, when it's not like Fortnite.
Video game reference.
You're just dumped on an island and you're trying to kill everyone.
So cool, so pop culture.
Whoa.
Not
Whoa.
kill, sorry. I'm not allowed to use the word kill. Neutralize.
Neutralize.
Yeah. Anyway, but actually, like, team, creates a real sense of like unity through competition. Love it. Yeah.
I think as a person who has joined a TCI course and also is one of the volunteers at Young, I can like say that the weekly
Young's
challenges
better?
thing.
Oh, sorry.
Again, competition.
I thought she was going there. I thought she was about to say, I've been in both ministries. I'm about to compare them.
I mean, yeah, I've been in both ministries, but I can say, like, I can agree with what they said about, especially the weekly challenges thing. Me and Chloe, we were actually one of the interns
Yes.
at the
Interns. Let's go
TC
interns.
Youth Summer Internship Program,
Woo.
right? Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, the TC,
But-
yeah.
Yeah, the one assignment, the task that we had each week was to attend staff meeting, and our assignment was to.
Take a picture with a staff member, and it has to be different every week.
Yes, that is
And
true.
Yeah, my
You guys got to like learn about the different staff members.
Yeah,
and
we
had
did.
to we
get
had to
to
ask
know
their
them.
names.
We had to
right?
ask their
Exactly.
names
No,
about
what? They have
ministry.
names. They're people. What?
Wow.
Do you not also have to ask them a fun fact? Is that not right?
That's
No.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Was
Or
You
for
do?
one of the other, that was another assignment, but you
Was
have to
that?
get a. No, that's for the MLDP program, different program.
All
But
right.
Again, yeah, it's
Sorry.
the heart behind that is you get to meet, the people that are on staff here, and you get to make new friends, right? So, wow, yeah, you both are from the TC
Yeah, we
Youth
are.
Internship
Yeah.
program. That's so awesome.
I remember, like, Chloe wasn't allowed to take a selfie with her mom.
I was not allowed to take. No, I was like, really? Because I was gonna like take a No, I feel like the exact words were used, like, I'm not allowed to take a picture, like a selfie with her at home. So like,
I mean, yeah.
can I take a picture when I'm already here?
Like at the parking
That's
lot,
like
like the
attendance,
basement.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And about the pie thing, I've actually been pied once because I lost
Oh wow.
a game.
Interesting.
But I was actually kind of
Do we have-
excited for like when I was about to get pied.
Do we have
Yeah.
pictures?
No,
Oh,
I
damn.
like asked them to not take any pictures because I was like embarrassed. But fun fact, my skin actually got so much better when I got pied. So like
So
I'm
now
actually,
Isn't
like,
you
is
get
it
healthcare
shaving cream?
tips
no,
from being
actually,
pied in the
it-
face.
It actually got my
Does-
skin
Oh,
better.
does the-
Wow,
does
that's
the-
real thing.
incredible.
Is the
This
pie out of what's the pie?
It's like
cream
shaving
out of?
cream.
It's shaving cream, lemon
So
and
it
lime.
It made my
so
skin so much
stings.
softer. I'm
So
not
shaving
even
A
cream
little.
makes your I
Wow.
mean, it's shaving cream, so
Do
I
you
guess
know what?
that's kind of the
Moisturizer,
purpose.
kind of.
What's so funny is that another volunteer came to me. She got pied, and she came and said she's lost like half her eyebrow. It's sort of like fallen out. And so honestly, it kind of.
Did- how did
it's-
she remove the shaving
How
cream?
did
It's,
that
I
happen?
think I blamed her because I think you're right. I think she sort of rubbed it a little bit hard when she removed it.
so
But yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Losing half an eyebrow.
half eyebrow or like half of one eyebrow? Just one
I
eyebrow?
mean,
Is it like half?
It's not like cut down the middle. I think
Oh.
she was being a little bit overly dramatic.
Okay.
I think it's just
some of the hair just
Some of the
just
hair
like
just fell out.
malted a little bit.
Extra flavor.
like, like, yeah,
Extra
Um,
flavor.
I don't think you're supposed to eat shaving cream anyways.
it
Have
is
you
lemon and
ever
lime though.
tasted? Have any of you tasted shaving cream before?
Tasted shaving. I mean, you're the one who's been
Not
pied
in this
the face.
lifetime, no.
Do you know what? I don't know how this happened, but when I was a child, so I got 3 older brothers, and the next one above me is 4.5 years older than me. And I honestly, I've no idea how we discovered this, but I think it was probably something like we used to wear gel every day in our hair, and we ran out, and I think my older brother was like, "Here, Rick, use this," and we used shaving cream. And it was brilliant. Like, it was so good at keeping
Really?
hair. Like, yeah.
It was like stiff.
It was a bit stiff. It worked like gel. You probably are too young to remember like the gel days.
I think
Do you
people
remember
still
those
use-
days where you use like really sticky gel?
I think people still use gel nowadays, but
I
is there,
think
like,
my
different
brother-
gel?
Josh is still in those days. He's
No.
timeless.
So in this podcast, you're getting face beauty tips and also hair care tips.
So true.
Congratulations, guys, from
Very beneficial.
shaving cream.
There you
Sure.
go.
Very
Wow.
beneficial
Something that you
podcast.
probably never expected, but yeah.
Yeah.
So back to the actual topic of this
question.
episode,
Yeah.
ministry. How far do you think like your ministry has grown over the years since like, or at least like when you started joining, when the first time you joined this ministry? How far do you think?
Yeah,
grown?
it has been incredible to see the growth since last year, right? So what was hard was through the pandemic. Like TCI was like, what is TCI? Like nobody knew what it was, and because before it was a full-on like internship program, and you would see all the participants. But then ever since pandemic, everything went online, and then yeah, it was just like it went down to like 3 to 4 students. But then last year, 2021, right, was like okay, pandemic was kind of starting to go away. We started doing more kinds of classes. We started as an institution for people that want to get like a bachelor's or a master's degree, which is like a 1-year, 2-3 year commitment. But then after that, we're like, you know what? Everybody should have access to content. So we've started to create programs like the TC Youth Internship Program. We had a program that's been running called the Ministry Leadership Development Program. So a lot of different programs with the heart of serving the leaders of the church. Hence, you guys, leaders of youth ministry. Because again, that's the thing. You can just come in and you can just serve and be like, okay, I'm here. But what's great is, again, God doesn't just call us to just stay where we are. He wants us to continue to grow, and he wants us to grow in our, not just in our knowledge and our wisdom, but also in who we are. And we get to do that with our skills, our strengths, and that's where we've seen the growth, not just in the number of people that have gone through TCI, but also in the people that have gone through TCI. And I mean, look at this. You guys are now doing this podcast, and you got the whole team here, and I think that's really awesome. And yeah, it's been really great to be a part of the program, the TCI program, and to really impact and influence so many people.
Yeah, I love that, honestly. Like, as a person, I already said this, but like, I was a part of the internship as well, right? Before joining the internship, I feel like I didn't really know much about myself. But like after taking all the classes and all the tests, like the Gallup strengths, and also the
The
Enneagram.
Enneagram.
It really like helped me a lot because like I get to know, oh, like this is what I'm good at, and like this is what I should improve on, like some skills that like can help me in my life. And also reading the books. I loved reading the books. Like, right, Chloe?
Yeah, yeah. I
Reading
think
Look
we
at
all
this,
get
guys.
love
Students
reading.
saying they love reading books.
This
You
is-
heard it
reading
here
books
first.
is fun.
Reading
love
books is great.
Reading books is great. And
They might have been digital books, but
yeah, digital books. But digital books is fun. Especially, I really loved the leadership and self-deception.
the leadership
That
self-deception was really
the box.
yeah.
The box. What about you, Pastor Rick?
I was just going to add as well. I think something I love about Josh and his ministry is the coaching that Josh you do, and you have other little minions that coach others as well as and actually like I think that is having time to kind of sit down and kind of work through some of the things that you perhaps not thought about, like or for a while. You know, I think it's easy to kind of think, yeah, I've worked this out in my life, now let's move on. But actually, like, coming back to those things, I think is really, really good. And I love that that's what you do, Josh, and that's such an important part of like the courses and what you offer. Yeah, it's great. What's the question, sorry, for me?
What would you say is the best part of your ministry or the ministry you
What's
serve in?
the best part of my ministry?
Other than pieing your volunteers.
I was
Other
gonna
than
say, I
paying my
think you already
volunteers.
answered that. The pieing, right?
So to be honest with you, I've been here for 4 months, and you know, I know it's been 4 months, yeah.
It's been 4 months.
And actually, like, I feel as though I landed, and a little bit, I felt like, oh my goodness, there are so many things to go through. There are so, you know, I feel like as a ministry, as a team, and like the curriculum, what we're teaching, like, it's almost like every area. And because of like the pandemic, and we now have an average about 120 kids a week.
Wow.
And at the moment we only have roughly 35 volunteers, but that is serving every other week. So that's like on average about 15 volunteers a week, which might sound a lot, but that really isn't. And I just feel like there's so much that I'm sort of working through and like trying. There are so many areas that need my energy, that kind of trying to discern where, you know, what's the right time, what needs to take the priority, and, you know, when to do things and what to do. Has been a real challenge. And I feel like the ministry of Young is probably, I'd say, a good 18 months away from when I'll feel like, yeah, we're on the right track. Because I really believe, you know, one of the verses, not just for Young, but in my ministry, that I'm passionate about is John 13, verse 35, which talks about, by your love for each other, they'll know that you're my disciples. And I really believe in creating a team that truly love each other, so that parents truly know that this is, it's almost like a second home. It's almost like, you know, when you've had a really, we have kids that, you know, I did a session with some kids a few weeks ago, and there are some brothers there, who told me that their parents have these are older and trustworthy. I don't think they were just saying this, but their parents have never told them that they love them. And you know, I really believe in you kind of, as a team, creating an environment where kids can genuinely feel loved. Like, it's not, okay, an hour service, 1 in, 1 out sort of a thing, 1 class in, 1 class out. But actually we kind of accept that this is a calling in our lives. We accept that this is a ministry. We accept that God is asking us to invest in these kids' lives. and therefore we'll go the extra mile. We'll have those one-on-one conversations. We'll want to do more things sort of midweek in order to kind of develop the kids and grow the kids and deepen their faiths.
I love that. And you mentioned that you've only been in, you've only got here since like 4 months.
Yeah.
How
June.
is that? Like, how is the transition from like living abroad and now you're here in Jakarta? How are you enjoying that right now?
Yeah.
Like,
Are you talking about TC or are you talking about like country, everything?
I guess
Life in Indonesia.
life in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just life in Indonesia compared
Life in
to
Indonesia. How
like
is it?
how it is back when you were in.
Do you know what? Like, I feel like if I were to, I mean, you guys, have you been to the UK?
Yeah, I have.
Have you been to the UK?
I have not.
Wow. Have you been to the
I
UK?
have.
You've been to,
But, like,
wow.
When I was 3.
3, fair. What do you remember? Red buses.
Yeah.
Big
I'm
Bang.
Gonna be honest, I don't think I really saw any like red buses when I was in the UK because I wasn't in London very long.
Right,
Yeah.
fair.
Wait, no, yeah, I think I was in Wales, if I'm not.
Wales.
Actually, I don't remember because
Wales.
I
Wow.
visited like my relatives there, so I don't really remember much of,
Okay.
like,
Do they still live there?
yeah, they
That's
still
pretty
live
crazy.
in the UK.
Wow. Do you know whereabouts in Wales? Because I used to live in Wales.
I'm not even sure if it's in Wales, but I
Yeah.
think that's what my mom told me.
Fair. Wow,
Yeah.
that's rural. But yeah, do you know, I feel like you guys can probably empathize and maybe others listening, but like the UK is very, very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually like I think, to be honest with you, and I don't want to sound ethereal and with my head in the clouds, but like genuinely I feel like my wife and I've got a 6-month-old, almost 7-month-old son, like we were just so sure that God called us here, that he spoke so clearly to us that this is where he wanted us to be, that we kind of lived like, do you know that verse in, I think it's Corinthians, where Paul says, fix your eyes on the unseen, for what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. And I think that when we landed here, because we had such a strong sense, and we still do have such a strong sense that this is where God wants us to be, that we kind of almost our eyes, yes, we were coming into contact with the world and Indonesia, Jakarta, traffic and all the food and a little bit of diarrhea at times, but like genuinely, like our eyes were almost like on the unseen, and so I think that made everything, the transition, just so much easier. And also what I'd say is like I really wanted to hit the ground running. I didn't want to, I recognized that then actually, like, that God had called us here, and I didn't want to. I kind of wanted to be like the pace setter sort of thing to begin with, for my team. I wanted them to see how serious I was about God moving in Young, and that I think that. And to be honest with you as well, like as staff, we only get 1 day off, and so if what's 4 times how many weeks? I don't know. 4 times 4. 16. But there was 5 in the month of, so about 17. Sorry, it was a bit dull. Sorry about that conversation. 17. So that's like 17 days off. Yeah, and with a baby, like we've just not really seen much. We've not, other than golf courses, and that's nice. But yeah, I've not been into the center of Jakarta. I wanted to see, like, when we came, before we came, I saw that I'd learned all about Jakarta sinking, and I'd wanted to see the mosque that's sort of slightly submerged. I thought that'd be really cool to see that.
I didn't even know those were a thing.
I've not been to that yet.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, I didn't know that the mosque thing was a thing.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah. if you're listening, YouTube it. Honestly, great videos.
Look it up. Look it up. Look it
Look
up.
it up. I'm
Genuinely.
gonna look it up later after we finish this. All right.
I would like to know actually, what are some like challenges that you have faced when leading this ministry? Like, I think you guys have already like shared a bit about it, but if you could go like a bit more in depth on what are like some challenges that you have faced.
Challenges. I think the biggest one was the buy-in, right? For a very long time, nobody even knew what TCI was. And if they knew, there was probably a wrong perception or a misperception on it. And people are like, nope, I don't want to be part of that, right? But I think just really with the team, you know, we got together earlier this year, actually, 2022 in January, and we prayed about it, and we asked God for vision. And I mean, now where we're at is a result of that, really allowing Him to take control and, you know, really taking TCI from just something for 3 to 4 people to now we've had over, I think, 180 students go through TCI in the past year alone.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
That's a lot
And
of
so
people.
we're that number may be exaggerated, but over 100, I know for sure. But at least that many people have gone through it. Man, I got to go back. And it is over 100, I know for
Over
sure.
100 is still a
Over
lot.
100, over 100.
And growing, because
Yeah.
we keep just again, it was from 4 to now so many people. And I think that's what's awesome is now people see that, hey, this is a place that even ministries are sending leaders to have their leaders developed, because ministries care about their leaders. And they, like Pastor Rere sending you know, allowing you guys to have the youth internship. He believed
Yeah.
in you guys, and we went through that interview process, and which was a brutal interview process, right? Not everybody made it through, but
I
you
remember
guys
that.
did make it through. And then we did the course for a few weeks. You guys did the internship, and everybody passed. And I think that was what's awesome is you guys saw that, hey, the quality is like it's
Yeah.
beneficial, it's impactful. It's not just reading and watching videos, but it's like applicational, it's practical, and you get to now see the result of that. I mean, you see the leaders around UTC Youth, around the church, and that's really, really a cool story of like from kind of nothing to something, right? Overcoming those challenges was really great.
What about you, Pastor Rick?
Yeah. The question is, what's the
What
biggest
is-
challenge?
Yeah. What are
The
some
enemy.
challenges? The enemy. Wow.
No. The biggest challenge is, I think similarly, up there is definitely buy-in. As I mentioned, I think that in terms of like what absolutely excellent kids church looks like, I think that actually you have to be patient to see the fruit. I think, you know, and we love to see fruit, you know, instantly, don't we? And actually, like having the patience and having the team that have the patience to work with that one, you know, kid that is grinding you down every week and like doing that same thing, even though you've told them X number of times over X number of weeks. I think having that sort of patience. I also think that. I also think having the, I think probably number one is that we at the moment, we have like the kids for 1 hour a week, which I don't want to bore you with maths conversation again, which is what percentage, I don't know, of a week. That's like less than 1%, which is, and actually I think that, I think that sometimes kind of, some parents can sort of have the attitude, and I think it's really easy, particularly after the pandemic, to have this attitude where maybe you can empathize with this, Chloe and Luna, in your, you know, household. The rules before the pandemic for raising kids, the liberties, and like, you know, because of the pandemic, the way that, you know, it was originally, I don't know, 2 hours of screen a day, and that became 8.
Yeah.
And so
That's true,
what's
that's
happened
true.
is like kids have become just like I guess used to taking those liberties, and used to it, I guess not having those same sense of disciplines and boundaries, and I think that within that, I think for the parents, like, I think there is still a sense of, oh my goodness, they're overwhelmed. How do we rope our kids back in? You know, how do we reestablish those boundaries and disciplines? Because ultimately, they're good for kids. You know, it's a really important part of parenting. You know, and you can see it. God the Father does it with us, and so I think that's really important. And I think that what happens is that, and within that, it's not just it's faith related as well. I think that kids that there is sort of a little bit of an attitude at times that, okay, oh my goodness, we're exhausted. We've just come out of the pandemic. We don't know how to rein our kids back in and put these boundaries back in place. We don't know what that looks like in terms of faith as well and teaching faith. And that, like, grace has almost become a license to misbehave. Instead of it once we misbehave, that's what is shown to us. And so it's almost like parents are, yeah, okay, take them now. Can you kind of sort them out for me? And actually we're kind of like, well, no, like, you know, we have an hour, you know, we'll do it faithfully and hopefully God will perform a miracle. But actually, like, parents need to be the ones who restores the situation. Yeah, and I think that's probably up there as number
So
one.
you don't want to adopt 120 kids every Sunday? I mean, you know, you got a 6-month-old, so what's another 120 of those?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have them for an hour.
An
So every
hour a
Sunday
week.
for an hour.
I actually started counting that in my head, like, one day out of like a week. It's like around 14%.
So we'll go back to the maths conversation. They did the
We
calculations.
did the
So-
calculations.
Alright,
But it's
so
1 hour, isn't it, of that Sunday?
So we
One
have
out
to
of
like
24 hours.
calculate it
Yeah.
again.
Have you just? Oh, she's got a
Pull up the
calculator out.
calculator.
Oh my goodness.
We're doing this,
We got-
guys.
here
We're
we go.
gonna
So
calculate
7
it.
days in so we have it 7 days in a week.
Times
and 24
24.
times 7, so that's 168. And then so it's 100. So it's 1 out of 168,
Yeah.
which.
What percentage is that?
So, yep,
Just
one.
thinking.
Can you remember the equation?
168.
Someone behind the cameras holding up
100.
2%. I think
That
that might
is
be wrong.
0.595.
Not even a percent, guys.
That's
half
really
a
low.
percent.
It's
Half a
it's
percent.
Half per- now you
It's
know.
1%.
0.6. 0.6. 0.6%.
No, you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
say that to the parents. Oh, I only have like 0.6%
of it.
Yeah.
I have 0.6% of their time in 1 week.
in 1 week. So
Yeah.
this is the best I can do.
Can I ask you girls a question?
Of
Can you
course.
relate to that? Like, in your homes, have your parents just been like, hey, that rule with spending or that rule with screens, do you know what? It's pandemic. This doesn't happen every year. Let's ditch those and you can, you know, have screens for 12 hours or go to bed later.
I don't think I've ever
I
had
don't,
that.
for me, no, I don't think it's that, but it's because I online school and all that, right? So
Yeah.
we have to use.
We kind of have to.
We kind of have to.
So it's like normal now.
I mean, I mean, because we also spend most of our time at school
Yeah.
now.
Now we
'cause
spend
we
most
have
of our
like
time at
physical
school.
school, right? So most of our time isn't really on the screen.
Yeah.
Just back to before the pandemic.
Like
except-
before the pandemic, before I started high school, actually, I had this rule where I could only like use my phone at like a certain time, and I didn't realize how important that was because like now I'm very like dependent on my phone, right? Like, of course, online school happened and everything, but now that offline school started, I'm actually trying to restrict myself using my phone now
Yeah, me too.
because like it actually makes my head dizzy
Wow.
and like
Does
you-
it really? Make
it
you, like,
it does.
physically
I
dizzy?
actually got sick because I was on my laptop the entire day, and yeah.
For me,
That's
it
like-
only gives me like it gives me dizzy if I'm like looking at a certain like if right. It gets me dizzy if I'm like watching a really fast action movie. I don't know if that's like a thing. That's
No,
just
like staying
no.
using my screen for too long makes me like really dizzy. I actually got sick because of it once. I had to like skip one day of school
That's absolutely terrible.
Wow.
because I was like studying for like a physics test for an entire day, right, from like morning to night. And I mean, to be fair, I did skip some meals, so that could have a factor. But yeah, I'm traumatized. I don't want to spend too much time on my screens anymore. But yeah, I guess we can move on to the next segment, the sub-segment. Let's just get to know you guys on like a more personal level, I guess. I would like to know your hobbies and interests. And, like,
Hobbies.
What do you guys
What
like
are-
to
yeah.
do? What do you guys like?
outside
in
of
general,
like
like,
ministry.
Outside of work.
Do you have hobbies outside of work?
What are
Josh?
hobbies? I don't understand now. Hobbies. My hobbies. So when I'm not doing TCI classes, I like to play video games. Yeah, that's pretty much literally. It's either that
very
or
21st century.
What's that?
Very 21st century.
I know, right? Like, you know, because I spend a lot of time with people. So me time is video games, or I have a wonderful wife, and we like to go food venture or watch movies,
That
Netflix.
sounds so fun.
I just bought a projector in our room, so now
Ooh.
it's we took our
What?
30-inch TV to like a 60-inch screen, so it's pretty awesome.
How does
Oh,
the
wow.
setup work? If you're like.
I
sitting in
just
front
I
of
took the
projector?
TV out, and then I have a blank wall, and I just have a projector here, and then boom, big screen
Where do you
Oh.
sit for that?
on the bed.
Oh.
That
Yeah,
sounds so
that's our
comfortable.
Netflix
Sounds
and
so
chill
nice,
guys. Yeah,
yeah.
so that's
Maybe I
our
should buy a
literally
projector.
that's literally the three things I'll do. I'll either be at church, I'll be playing video games by myself, or I'll be with my wife. Life is good. That's pretty much it.
Wow. Sounds
That's
His
me.
wife is my ministry leader, by the way.
Hey, there you go.
TC Space.
Yeah,
represent.
TC Space.
That's
What
cute.
about you, Pastor?
So I'm a football fan.
The kicking kind.
Yeah, the real one. Not the one that was like developed
American.
from rugby.
American football is fake.
American rugby. Although actually, I don't mind American football. I play golf. I'm a Man United fan, by the way. If there's any Man United fans, give us a like or I've no idea. Subscribe or something. Don't know where this is going or what it's doing. Anyway, on Spotify, yes. I'm a massive golf fan. Play golf. I game a little bit as well. Recently got a PS4, which is fun.
Nice.
What games do you
um,
play?
Do you know I got it like 3 or 4 days ago, and so I've just been playing some of the oldies. I downloaded Battlefront 2.
Shooters.
Yeah, and that's about it at the moment. Yeah, I don't know what I will get.
He's
as well.
also a father, so don't forget that's also.
I
Is
am
that a
a
hobby?
father,
Do you call that a
so
hobby
yeah.
though?
Don't
Is that a
forget about
hobby
I
or
am-
like do you use that like a
And
job
the thing is,
or
like,
full time?
honestly, when you have a kid, you'll hear people say this all the time, but like when you have a kid, it shows you how selfish you are. Honestly, it does. Like, we are so self-centered, and like when you want to do something, if you just want to chill out and watch a film, or like you just can't
There's-
until my son is in bed, or like
Yay, parenthood.
Parenthood.
yeah. But it's an absolute joy. Honestly, he's worth it.
Zerb is amazing. Shout out.
Yeah.
There is amazing. Alright, so on the next one, I guess. What do you guys? What is it like being part of the like TC staff? Just like how does it feel?
Tell us about staff meeting. How is that like?
Yeah.
You guys have been a
Ooh.
part of it, right? You guys
Yeah,
have
but
been
then
a
the
part.
viewers
listeners,
don't, the
listeners and the
listeners
Oh,
viewers.
listeners, they
The
don't know.
listeners.
They wanna
what's
know.
it like being? Do you know what? Like, I've been on church staff teams before, but not anything is this big. And actually, it's just awesome, isn't it? I love the fact that our team is so big. I love the fact that if you rub Josh up the wrong way, there's still Ray to get along well with.
We're
No,
standing over there, by the way.
No, I'm joking. We're all
Are
about
you?
unity.
Are
But
you-
yeah, like I love the fact that we have lots of fun and we can do things together and yeah. How about you, Josh?
So, team culture is important, and ours is all about wins. We just always celebrate. We just always start. Our meetings aren't like business meetings or church strategy meetings. It's more like, hey, let's celebrate what's been going on, and we take time every week and we talk about all the different volunteers. We talk about you guys. We talk about what are good things that's happening. We get a short word from our lead pastor, and then after that we go work out because one of our values is that physical health is important. So you guys have seen when you guys join staff meeting, we do wins, we have a little devo, and then we go work out. After that, eat some delicious food. I don't know. It's a great time. At least that's for Wednesdays. But the
Yeah.
rest of the week, I think
That's-
what's so cool is that every one of us on the team, we're not there on accident. We're there as a calling, and we're all about people. The calling is for
Yeah.
people, right? It's not to some big grand ministry. No, it's to people. It's for
Yeah.
us to pastor and to care for those in our various spheres of influence, be that TCI or young, pastorarian youth. But I think that's what's for me. I'll speak for myself. It's an honor. It's a privilege. It's a joy, and it's a blessing to be a part of the team. I wasn't always staff. Like before, I volunteered for like 8 years in TC, or back it was IS. Yeah, I volunteered for quite a lot. Yeah,
Oh,
back when it was called
IS.
IS South, I
That's
volunteered.
a while.
What is
And
IS?
now I
It's been
just
a while.
I get to do this full time every day, and I think it's really great. So yeah,
Very awesome.
Yeah, it's a good answer.
thanks.
Well, now we have reached the end of the episode. Thank you so much, Josh and Pastor Rick, for giving us some time to talk and getting to know each ministry that you're in. And make sure to check out our Instagram at unmuted by TC Youth, and also TC Youth's account, thecollective.youth,
Youth.
and also check out their Instagrams is let me look it up.
Young.jkt.
and
TCI.jkt.
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure talking to you guys, and
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Thank
You guys have
you.
been wonderful guests.
Yeah.
Nice.